When I made a video earlier talking about the international break, how it's making people go crazy, you guys thought I was playing, Abby. Listen to this.
Mo Salah is even, and I don't think this is controversial. I don't think he's top 5 Premier League wingers of all time.
Now, I'm an Arsenal fan, right? We like to take a dig at Liverpool and maybe Musala and other, but in no shape or form would I sit down here and listen to that kind of disrespect towards Musala. Right? And I don't know why this guy has proven himself season after season after season after season since he's been at Liverpool, right? But he still gets all these kind of comments. Bro is saying that Musala is basically overrated, that he does not rate him as top 5 wingers of all time in the Premier League. Now listen to the players he's mentioning, like his top 5 wingers in the Premier League history. Listen to him.
Who are the 5?
And those 5 would be Ronaldo, Hazard, Beckham, I would choose on his day, Bale also, and Ryan Giggs. I think Ryan Giggs speaks for itself, obviously.
Now, I'll get to not liking Musala, right? We understand. It's not as pleasing to watch as maybe some of these players he mentioned on the list. It's not as beautiful on the eye like an Hazard. It's not like as aesthetically pleasing as Ronaldo and others. But mentioning players like Bale, I would understand Ronaldo because obviously Ronaldo is one of the greatest players of all time. I understand that. He's mentioning Hazard. He's mentioning Beckham, mentioning Gareth Bale, mentioning Ryan Giggs as being greater wingers than Musala in the Premier League. Mind you, we are saying in the Premier League. In fact, I don't want to talk about, I don't want to say in my opinion or anything. I'm going to tell you, as far as the Premier League is concerned, right, those 5 players he mentioned, they don't have a greater legacy than Musala in the Premier League. I'll take you anywhere. Take it anywhere you want to take it. I don't care what you have to say about that. I'm telling you that those 5 players he just mentioned, Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, Eden Hazard, Beckham, Giggs, I'm going to tell you that they don't have a greater legacy than Musala as far as the Premier League is concerned. Now let's look at the stats, right? Let's look at the stats since we are all about the GA, the goal and assist and all that. Let's look at Ronaldo's stats in the Premier League. Ronaldo has played total of 236 matches in the Premier League. He has 103 goals, 37 assists. That is 140 goals contribution in the Premier League. Hazard has played 245 games in the Premier League. He has 85 goals, 51 assists. That's making 136 goals GA in the Premier League. Beckham has played 265 games in the Premier League. He has scored 62 goals and 80 assists, making it 142 GA in the Premier League. Gareth Bale has played 166 games in the Premier League over the course of 7 seasons. He scored 53 goals and 22 assists, making it 75 goals GA in the Premier League. Ryan Giggs has played a total of 632 games over the course of 22 seasons in the Premier League. He has scored 109 goals and he has 163 assists. That's making it 272 GA in the Premier League. These are players that this guy is saying he has better legacy than Mo Salah in the Premier League. Now let's look at Mo Salah. Now Mo Salah has played a total of 308 games in the Premier League so far. He has scored 186 goals and he has 88 assists. Now mind you, Mo Salah is still playing in the Premier League, right? And this season, I think he scored 2 goals this season. And the season was starting. And we know Mo Salah, he ends up scoring more than 20 goals in a season. Now, these are guys that this guy is saying has better legacy than Salah. Now, one would argue Ronaldo is better, has a better legacy in the Premier League. But to me, in my opinion, I don't think Ronaldo does that in the Premier League. Now, Ronaldo was at his peak. At his peak, was not playing in the Premier League. Was at Real Madrid. So everything we know about Ronaldo, all the ideas we have about Ronaldo was what he did at Real Madrid. In the Premier League, Ronaldo had two good seasons in the Premier League, two outstanding or world-class seasons in the Premier League. He did not really hit that heights at Manchester United. So why is Salah being that disrespected in the Premier League, despite all he has done in the Premier League? Why is it being that disrespected? Is it down to the aesthetics, being beautiful in the eye? Except Hazard on that list, I don't think there's any player in that list, and maybe Ronaldo when he was still very young in Manchester United, when he was still very raw with all the stepovers and all that. I don't think there's any other player in that list that is as aesthetic as Salah, except Hazard and Ronaldo. But this guy is saying that Salah is not the top 5. Well, he's entitled to his own opinion, but the disrespect Salah gets, this guy has been doing the same thing every season. This guy scores more than 20 goals every season in the Premier League. In fact, let's break it down. Okay, let's compare Salah with these guys he mentioned. Now, compared to Ronaldo, Salah has played 72 games more than Ronaldo in the Premier League, but he has 134 goal involvements more than Cristiano Ronaldo. In 72 games less, he has 134 goal contribution more than Ronaldo. How about Hazard? Salah has played 63 games more than Hazard in the Premier League, but he has 138 goal contribution more than Hazard in the Premier League. The one that is killing me is this Bale. Bale has played, Salah has only played 142 more games than Bale in the Premier League, but he has a whooping 197 goal contribution more than Bale. In fact, how did Bale even get into this conversation? Is it because he is a British guy? Because that is the only explanation one can give. Bale did not do anything in the Premier League. He did not win any trophy. He did not win anything in the Premier League. So why is he in the conversation of being the one of the best wingers in the Premier League? What are we looking at? What are we talking about? So if we are going to say that Bale is among the top 5 wingers in the Premier League, that means Saka should be there, because obviously Salah has done more for the Premier League than Bale has. He has done more. What are we doing? Are we saying all these things just to discredit what the guy has done for the Premier League? Now let's look at when Salah came to Liverpool. Because in my opinion, I think there are only few players that has had more impact in the Premier League than Mo Salah. Because Mo Salah literally changed the face of Liverpool. He changed the way people saw Liverpool. Because before Salah came to Liverpool, there was that period, 2014, where they almost won the Premier League, which I think that season was really a fluke, in my opinion. Nobody expected Liverpool to be where they were. They were carried by Suarez and Sturridge that season. You did not expect them to be in that level. That's why they could not do it. They could not get it over the line. Look at the impact Salah has on Liverpool since he came. Liverpool has won 2 Premier League titles. They've won the Champions League. They've played back-to-back Champions League finals because of Salah. The importance of Salah was really emphasized on the Champions League final when he played against Real Madrid. We saw how devastated the team was when Salah left the field, when he was injured by Ramos. It felt like their chances of winning that Champions League final left immediately Salah left the field. And we are coming here and disrespecting this guy. Why? Because he's having a bad season now. This is the guy that carried Liverpool to the Premier League trophy last season, just a few months ago. So why is he being disrespected? I guess we rival fans, we tend to take jabs at Liverpool, look for ways to criticize the other team and make fun of the other team. But I don't think it has gotten to that level of disrespecting Salah to the level of saying that Bale had a better legacy than him, Hazard had a better legacy than him. I can pardon Rengis because he's a one-club man. He did so much for Manchester United. He stayed for so many years. He gave 22 years of his life to Manchester United. I can say, okay, fine. But footballing-wise, Giggs is not as close. In fact, this is as close to Jack Wilshere than he is to Salah. Footballing-wise. Why? I I think it's down to the international break. Right, once we get back to football, once we get back to watching Premier League and all that, we won't be making these silly takes.